You're seeing here two different carriers and the way they report certain milestones, or rather the terminology with which they report certain milestones. This is a classic, and a lot of people out there on this call will have seen this, and those who are perhaps as old as I am will have seen this for 30 plus years, 40 years, 50 years from the dawn of containerization. That, a sweet child has many names, as we say in Denmark. That there's a tribalism to terminology across carriers, across forwarders, across airlines. But some people just use different nomenclature for the same event, right? Maersk has chosen to report that their container here was gated out for delivery. That's, to me, a pretty clear term. That's probably the one I would personally prefer, because it accurately describes exactly what has happened. It's on its way to the customer, and it's out of the gate and on the way. Over here in the CMA CGM example, this is not a single out CMA CGM, because trust me, you can find similar examples across other carriers where they have their own sort of pit terminology. Container to consignee. To me, if I was looking at that, it would be very unclear to me whether that meant that the container was gated out and on its way to the consignee, or whether the container had been delivered to the consignee. There's a difference, right? And this is just one of many. When I say tribal, if there are Maersk people out there listening on the call, or people who work with Maersk, you've come across the term FFE. And you will only come across that if you work with Maersk. It means 40-foot equivalent. The one the rest of the world calls an FEU. And still in Maersk, the term FFE is more common. Does that appear very often in reporting? No, but it's just an example of this what I call this tribal language that individual carriers have developed. Irit will hopefully expand on what this means in terms of clearing up the data, because these two particular chains of events would have all gone into the same report.
Yeah, and why is that even a problem for you when architecturing products?
Yeah, thank you, Bjorn. I'm glad you asked, because, well, for a person viewing this, a person with their common knowledge and acquired expertise in the domain, so this is only difficult and annoying. Okay, having these two terms that are so different and actually refer to the same event in the real world, right? They're referring to the same thing, but you have such different terminology, like Bjorn said. So this is only annoying, but for a software or a data pipeline, it's impossible. Like, it's impossible to understand that they mean the same thing unless you standardize it in some way. So it can be your own personal standardization that suits your needs. But if you don't do that, then there's no way your system will realize that these are the same events, the same event, basically, in the world. And so it's not a matter of difficulty or annoyance. It will just not work.